A speaker in this series is Lina Ashar, an education alumna of Victoria College, Melbourne. Lina is the promoter-chairperson of Mumbai-based Kangaroo Kids Education Limited, which owns and franchises 116 preschools and K-12 schools with an aggregate enrollment of over 20,000 children, mentored by over 4,000 teachers in India as well as abroad. Lina is going to speak, perhaps from her own experience, on what are the secrets of successful preschools franchisees management. Lina?
Steve Jobs once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards." Today, we look back to how the dots truly connect when we have the confidence to follow our heart. In 1986, my parents encouraged me to come to India from my place of privilege and comfort in Australia with the intention of connecting with my Indian heritage. That 1 year would alter the course of my journey. What I experienced as a teacher in an Indian classroom was the wholesale robbery of the childhood of children. The education system in India had a straitjacketed approach to academics, sidelining the overall development of the child. Learning by rote was the norm. I vowed to come back to India to make a difference. My family had faith and belief in my vision. My father, with the blessing of my family, gifted me the seed money to start our first preschool. Armed with money, love and support, we launched Kangaroo Kids in 1993. A preschool that would change how early childhood learning would be perceived. The key differentiator would be that scientific theory and neuroscience would underpin all the learning design. The journey began modestly, with just over a dozen toddlers. Parents who enjoyed this differentiated learning experience encouraged us to extend this. And so, with this encouragement and support, our first primary school was born. Parents who experienced the difference also decided that they would like to partner this vision and became our education partners and brand evangelists. We then launched our teacher training program to skill India and to build a nation of teachers for our own schools and for other schools to use. A true testament to our brand is when partners wish to take our brand overseas. In 2005, we went truly international with the launch of Kangaroo Kids Dubai. We know that our greatest sense of fulfillment is bringing joyful, meaningful, and effective learning experiences to the children in our care. The awards only reinforce our belief in what we jointly do. In 2004, we set up our first Billabong High International School in Goregaon, and then our first company-run Billabong High in 2006. 2 more international schools opened in Mumbai and Vadodara in 2007. 2008 sees us listed in the Education World magazine as one of the top 50 leaders who have redefined Indian education. Kangaroo Kids expands into Maldives in 2009. Education is the unique opportunity that we share to transform the world by thinking deeply about what it is we want our children to value. A united world over a divided one, spirituality over religion, aspiration over ambition, wisdom over knowledge, individual creative thought over rote learning. Our students appear for the Cambridge International Examinations, and they gift us proof of concept that learning can be engaging, fun, and effective. Kangaroo Kids was conferred with India's most trusted preschool education award. This is thanks to our partners that have believed, shared, and executed the vision so well. Billabong High International School receives the Franchise Award for the Best in Category Education, Schools and Early Learning. We open our 50th Kangaroo Kids Partner School in Qatar. Our 15th Billabong High International School opens. We collect an Asia Award on your behalf for the most trusted brand and for innovation in curriculum. In the year 2017, Kangaroo Kids received more than 40% of the awards in the top 5 preschool ranking from Education World. Today, we are present in 4 countries, have 1 lakh plus students across 40 cities, and are growing by leaps and bounds. We have grown in so many ways thanks to you. Good afternoon, everyone. So they're going to, yep, there we go. Job. I did not do what most business gurus propound. I did not think big. I did not have success as a focus. I did not want to conquer the world. I did not have a mindset that said big is better. I had a deep love for children, a deep hatred of rote learning, and a way of knowing how to engage. I did a common thing in an uncommon way, and it caught the attention of my parent community. That's the start of the story. While I tell the rest of the story, remember what I had on my side. A strong belief, passion, grit, and a mindset. As a teacher, I could also tell stories that would influence and persuade others to join my mission. Now let's see what I didn't have on my side. I had no business management ideas or skills. I had understanding of India, the complexities of the diversities of the different cities, the legal framework or lack of legal framework. So let's see where this would land me. So my life lesson number 1, know what you know, or hire someone who does. In 2006, I had my first major disruption. I can calmly and honestly say I know a lot more about India today than I ever did. I know what it can protect me from and what it can't protect me from. The one thing I can tell you is that most agreements are akin to toilet paper if a relationship breaks down. My key lesson number 2. It is essential to select your partner carefully and to understand what your partner's key values and drivers are. If they don't align with your values and drivers, you need to know when disruption happens, or any disturbance happens, and you're faced with an opinion, it's likely to end in calamity. We know it's a cliche, but any constant life has change, and never has change been more exponential, marked by technological disruption and economic evolution as is today. One is to stand still, we have to stand still, to stagnate and be left behind. The second is to move forward and adapt. My key lesson number 3. When you get shaken, it is essential to look in and see what to do differently. That is, unless you want to be disrupted completely. So faced with a breakaway are 2 choices. Feel resentful and anxious, which I'm human, and I did while, I must admit. If I did not change the way I see situation and change the story that I was telling myself, I would remain resentful and anxious. Reality finally compelled me to see things differently, to change my story and to change my strategy. This is how today we have a balance of company-owned and company-managed schools and franchise schools. My key lesson number 4 is change the way you look at something, and the thing you look at changes. Next would be to grow. Got an CEO who wants to expand. It taught me a vital lesson. Work out who your audience is. We started as a niche, not for everyone offering. A CEO came in to appeal to the masses, and I feel we are brand low. Similar to Starbucks, that began as a niche offering and then grew to multiple chain of stores. In 2000, they have a similar system to 900 stores. They scaled back, refocused on their original mission, learning the hard way that you can't be everything to everyone. I had to do the same. So my key lesson number 5, when you try to force an agreement or force anything else, it creates resistance, and you have to figure out what's going to create stickiness or what's going to attract your partners to you. So you may know last year I divested. As I knew the skill set that got me up to this point is not going to take the company or its people any further. This enabled me to bring us a strong management team and led me to my key lesson number 6. Sometimes as a founder, you get out of your own way, and companies way for the company and its people. The company Polaroid, camera company Kodak, and Buster all had one in common. At some point, they're all complacent and safe. So big business happens when you feel you found success and you get in a state of complacency. When I started my company, my core offering was instructional design. Today, with the internet, content is no longer king, so I had to re-strategize what our key offerings are. Because what once brought us success would no longer be the driving force of our company. I could no longer be complacent, keep it the same, or protect it. My key lesson number 7 is change or die. So it's time to reimagine and re-engineer our business, time to scale the horizon for additional and new opportunities, time to pour resources into innovation and experimentation, time to seek out fresh sources of inspiration. Large companies run the risk of losing customers, the lack of personal support, service and relation. Many large chains might have a burn strategy. So it's essential if you're going to franchise that you define who you are, what you stand for, and what your business strategy is going to be. And one of the key lessons that came out of our strategic thinking is that quality control is essential to upholding your brand value. So we reinvent what schools look like. On the left is a school of 1903, and you'll see this school is coming up in Pune, Hadapsar. We trashed all curriculum and recrafted it to take care of the needs of the fourth industrial revolution. No one knows for sure what this is going to look like, but most of us know that the key competencies that will be valued are creating empathy and friendship. So we are getting into a more a format of more creativity, more imagination, more entrepreneurship. We're starting what we call Genius Week. It's come from a book called Genius Hour. Please read it. And it gives the kids the ability to think about what the ikigai is, or what is the one purpose that they have that they're going to contribute to change the world with, and it's going to be a source of their financial revenue as well. So we move from understanding concepts and application of knowledge to mindfulness, self-awareness, knowing about your brain, knowing how you learn, knowing what your competencies are, and knowing what your areas of challenge are. On the verge of fourth industrial revolution, and we are uncertain, but we do know blended learning at least is the way of the future. So we've introduced a new learning system, which is tech-enabled. Last year, phase one. We focused on a mapping and production of a system that enables a child to consume knowledge and understand it. Phase two will allow kids to interact with content, and three will be where actually create, synthesize, and do things with technology. Kunal spoke about it, but we're also focusing on teacher quality. We have strengthened the team to monitor and ensure teacher quality and teacher training. We employ an external agency and build an in-house team to monitor safety, not just physical safety, but also safety. We've got a team now that looks at academic execution. As Kunal said, you can have a great idea unless well, it's not going to be much use. So everything from whether the lesson plans are being followed to discussions around what clearances are still required to mapping those and training for them. Brand's personality usually emerges from the founder's personality, and if you've identified and articulated this, a team will understand what it is. You're probably going to do the entire team a disservice. The left-hand side communication is something that happened a while ago, and after sitting with the team, there comes a new communication. So key lesson here is know what your personality is, define what message will give you the most powerful voice, and a great marketer doesn't sell a product or a service, but an emotion. This new frame came out of the marketing team actually going out and talking to parents, and one of the parents saying, we put our kids in Billabong High because we know if we put them in a school, kids will learn a carbon footprint, and Billabong High they'll learn to have a social footprint, and see how quickly the whole frame can change. So again, the old and the new communication style. So the value you would look to give partner if you want to franchise your brand is location selection, the property, what kind of partner profile you're looking for, setting up of your fee structure, marketing, competition mapping, what will your infrastructure look like, so you have a blueprint for them. Look at rental views, what they mean in terms of the profitability of the business, and then an entire support system around academics, development, logistics, and marketing support. You put this all together, it actually leads to excellent outcomes for the child in all areas of development. This is my final life lesson. Live in alignment with one's values, and passion is essential. The real happiness does not come from being the biggest, but it does come from finding your life's purpose and from growth. Thank you so much.